Grand openings are so important to get right for any restaurant business. And when you do a grand opening properly, two great things happen. Number one, you're going to build a ton of hype getting people initially into the restaurant. And two, if you do a grand opening correctly, you're going to have a long tail effect that will keep paying dividends even months and potentially years after that grand opening takes place. And I'm going to talk in this video from personal experience after helping over 2,500 restaurants across the US grow their business, as well as generating 26 million transactions for restaurants. And so grand openings are a pivotal campaign of what we've done in the past. And so I'm just going to explain in this video what has worked over the last 6 or 7 years that I've been doing this with our team. And what you want to know is that the core principles really of how to execute this have stayed the same. But given that this is 2025, there has been some improvements with new technologies that you can make this even more powerful. And that's what I'm going to cover in the video today. And so today I'm going to break down of how we've done our grand openings in the past and specifically leverage things like Meta, Google, and YouTube TV ads along with our software Disio to help get our clients the best results. If this is your first time here, my name is Jace. I'm one of the co-founders and COO of Dineline, where we help restaurants all across the US grow and scale their business. We put out content like this weekly, so if you find the information in this video helpful, click that like and subscribe button below so you're updated on whenever we have new videos coming out. So before we dive in here, I just want to back up the proof to show you that I know what I'm talking about and our team knows what they're doing when it comes to talking about grand openings. In fact, I'll put on the screen here a video and some images of past grand openings that we've done with restaurants to generate lines out the door. And so we've been doing this now, specifically grand openings for restaurants as well as a number of other services for over 6 years. And so I'm going to explain what has worked and what still works, but there's some improvements that can be added to this that I'll break down that we've added to our Rolodex of what we do for restaurants right now here today. Okay, so step number one of this video is how do you build hype for a grand opening leading up to an event? So your marketing needs to start weeks before your grand opening actually happens. And so the goal in these first few weeks is start building a pool of a warm audience of people likely to show up to your event. And so what do I mean by a warm audience? Well, we first need to let people know that our event is even occurring. And then this part two of it is we need to make sure those people actually show up. And so I'm going to give you the steps as to how you go about each of those and then how we use our software Dishio to tie it all together to make sure that your event knocks it out of the park. So the easiest way to start getting in front of customers is number one, being able to use your social platforms to post and to reach people that already follow you. But what happens if people don't follow you? Well, you can start running ads on social platforms like Facebook and Instagram and sending those people to an event page, or in our case, we'll send those people to a smart site or a funnel inside of our Dishio software to start collecting customers' phone numbers or emails, or getting those people to register for an event, let's say on Facebook. Is we're starting to build up here a pool of customers that we can hit right before the event happens to make sure that they show up. Now, let's say for the sake of this example, I've collected 10,000 emails and phone numbers, or I've gotten 10,000 event registrations on my Facebook page, and now it's leading up to the first couple weeks before that event. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those phone numbers and emails and I'm going to upload them into Facebook and create what's called a custom audience. And what a custom audience is Facebook is going to cross-check and reference those contacts with people that it has in their platform registered. So you can target and stay in front of those people on social media, even if they're not your followers. And what makes this even better is you can then create a lookalike audience from those people that already look like your best customers. So think about if you could just download all the best customers from your POS system or all the people that registered this event. And then Facebook can run I think it's 250,000 different cross checks and reference points to know who are the 1, 2, or 3% of people that look most like these customers that I just gave you. And I want those people to come to my event as well. So you just uploaded your audience into Facebook. And now I also want to send out emails with things like what's going to be on the menu for the event, any special guests that are going to be there, any giveaways that are happening. Hey, we're giving away free ice cream or free pizza to the first 100 people in line. I'm just making this up. And so you're going to use those emails that you collected and start hyping the guest up about a week out before the event. Because this is the biggest key, you guys, is that you can build an audience and let people know, but the art and the trick is getting people to actually show up for that event. The other thing that we will do that is extremely underrated, and a lot of restaurants don't even know that this is possible, but run ads on YouTube TV. And you mean, wait, run a commercial on YouTube? Yes. Through YouTube TV streaming services, you can actually use Google Ads because Google owns YouTube, and you can run targeted commercials to people who are watching YouTube TV on their home about your event. Pretty cool, right? So we will actually take the closest zip codes to our clients' locations and load those zip codes into Google with some different videos streaming about these events. And then we'll broadcast to them of people who live in that zip code leading up to the event as well. And this gets people that might not even know that you exist knowing about you and potentially being able to get them to your event. And YouTube TV is allowing restaurant owners to basically run commercials that would cost 10x the cost otherwise for a very cost-effective targeted rate to only specific people in those zip codes. All right, so getting RSVPs, getting emails and phone numbers is one thing, but like I said, getting people to show up is where the magic happens. So how are we going to do that? Well, the easiest and most simple way to do that is, this sounds really straightforward and obvious, but you're able to see how many people actually showed up by how many heads are in the restaurant or how many people were waiting outside. We've been able to take this to the next level with our software Disio, but if you don't have a software that can track this, the easiest way is there is either 200 people waiting outside your restaurant to get in, or there isn't. And so you can really see the hype that you've been able to generate from your campaigns just based on how full the restaurant is, people referencing how they figured out how to get to you in the first place. That's going to come down to how effective your campaign is. And so how we're able to track these guests with our software Dishio is, one feature of Dishio is that you can have a digital QR code at the restaurant and track new versus existing customers. If this is your first time opening your restaurant, all those people are going to be new. And so you can see the impact of how many people that came from those events that actually made it to your restaurant. And the best part about that too is, like I said earlier, you want to create a pool of customers that just don't come in for that event, but we can target for future marketing. And so by getting people onto that menu, scanning it, we're able to capture those people's data and we can remarket to them for years to come as long as those customers stay in the local area. And how that works is what's called a pixel. And a pixel is something that you can put on a web page and capture people's data so you can follow them around on the internet. Now, I know that sounds a little creepy if you're not a digital marketer, but these are the capabilities that most businesses use that just restaurant owners aren't even tapping into. I mean, I'm sure you've had a situation where you might be shopping for, let's say, a mattress online and you don't end up buying it, but all of a sudden that mattress is now showing up on your social media feed. And you're like, is my phone listening to me? It's not, or it might be. And the real reason is that these pixels help advertisers follow prospect customers around the internet. And you can do the same thing to attract customers to your restaurant. So in step 3 now is that we know how to generate hype. We know how to get people coming to our event, but how do we go from first time guests to repeat customers? Well, I'm going to give you a play-by-play funnel and steps that we personally use to help our clients that want to run grand opening campaigns. And so this formula is going to work for pretty much every restaurant. And so I'm going to give it to you for free so you can just copy this exact process and use it in your business. So here are the steps. The first one is we need to capture customer data. So we'll run ads all over the internet on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and we're going to drive those people to what we call a smart site or or a funnel, which is going to help us capture guest data. Either we're going to pixel them or we're going to capture their phone number and email. And once we capture that information, we're going to market to them to get them to come to the restaurant. And when they come to the restaurant, ideally, they're going to scan a digital QR code menu or have some type of mechanism where we know if they came to the restaurant or not. And after that visit, we're going to then send them a follow-up thank you email with an incentive for their next meal. So for example, right, we captured that email or that phone number in that first step, or we were able to capture we pixeled them. And so 14 days later, we can invite them back in. But if we don't do that, we just don't have the ability to remarket to that customer to get them to come back. Like I said, email, and then we're also doing retargeting ads. So we're doing those things simultaneously. And a retargeting ad is basically just sending social media ads back to this customer, influencing them to get them to come back in. In some cases, we'll have a loyalty program that we'll send them to. And then the last step here is how to set up retargeting ads. Is we set up personally like 2 different retargeting ads. One of those is going to be a warm audience. These are people that we've collected those contacts with. And then we're going to select a cold audience. These are people who don't know us, but they look most like our customers who we've uploaded from our email list. So we're going to do both of these simultaneously. Now for ad ideas for both cold and warm, we recommend for cold audiences doing a UGC style video. And what that means is a user generated content style video. Think of like a TikTok video or a video that somebody shoots with their phone that looks authentic, like a customer shot it. That's what we will typically use for a cold campaign. And this is usually showcasing your restaurant atmosphere, guest experience, and most popular dishes. And then for a warm audience, getting people to come back that have already been to the restaurant, this is where we want to retarget guests who maybe haven't been back in 14 to 30 days or more with reminders about new menu items, happy hour, loyalty rewards, etc. Also, I know what you might be thinking, like, I don't have time to write all these ads and do all these things. I shot a video about ChatGPT and how I use it to write all the ad copy that you need for this type of stuff. So check out my ChatGPT video. I'll leave a link down below in the description or above so you can know how to just have ChatGPT help you out with some of this stuff in minutes instead of spending hours trying to come up with these things. Helping generate reviews. So review generation is super important. How do we encourage a customer to leave a 5-star review? The best way that we always say is have your staff talk about it, but Disio helps us streamline this so that way where they're viewing the menu, where they're interacting with what they're going to eat, and the reviews are all in one place. In conclusion here, you guys, if you take one thing away from this video, it's that not just executing the grand opening itself when it comes to your marketing, but how you do it strategically can help you pay dividends months and even years after the event. And I'm only talking in this video about what we do on the marketing front. Of course, there's other things that go into a grand opening, like purchasing the food, hiring the right amount of staff, etc. We're just talking about specific experience of what we've actually done and been able to be successful for restaurants. So if you like this type of content, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. It'll tell the YouTube algorithm to serve you up more videos like this that will teach you how to grow your restaurant and business from a marketing standpoint, because this is what we're experts in. We only share stuff on this channel of what we're actually doing with our clients. So this isn't fluff or theory. We try this stuff out and make sure it works, and then we give it to you here for free, because our hope is that eventually we can help you grow your business, and in the hopes of earning you at some point as a partner in the future. So with that being said, check out these other videos from our channel. I'll put them here. Also, there's a free marketing course with more of this type of information in the description below. I recommend that you check that out as well. See you in the next video.